I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get set for our double header from the Iowa Speedway, and we kick things off this afternoon with pole day qualifying for the second season of the Duracell Ultra Lite Series. Lite drivers will take the green flag later on tomorrow afternoon, Cup drivers on Sunday. First time that the Lite drivers have ever been to the Iowa Speedway, so should be interesting to see how the lower tier series does here. We've run here at this particular racetrack before in the Cup Series, and it's brought about really good racing. So with a slightly smaller field, I believe 29 drivers going to be taking the green flag in the Lite Series race here tomorrow. It will be interesting to see just how much passing we're going to have, how important track position is going to be. Those were a couple of important keys in last year's Cup Series race as to whether it was going to return on the Cup Series schedule, and it, of course, as we now know, got added to the Lite Series schedule as well. So drivers will head on out here, try and set down the fastest lap. Feel like you're going to want to get that lap time put down as early as possible before the track gets filled up. And we got about 3 or 4 drivers that were very early to head out onto the racetrack, being led by the 91 of Craig Batson. Sean Galligan in the 62, actually correct, that's Ralph Mason in the 66 right behind him. As well as the 16, that is Eric Sadler, who is one of our Cup Series drivers that are going to be in the field here this weekend. Daniel Voiles just up ahead there as well, as Ralph Mason looking to get by Craig Batson, and with the aid of a little bit of draft, he did jump up to the top of the leaderboard for a brief moment. Eric Sadler is now up there at the top of the board. Cars may look like they're going around this racetrack somewhat slow. It's not really all that slow. They're almost about 120, 125 miles per hour going into the corner. Then they back it down to about 90 miles per hour here through the center before picking up the throttle again on the exit. Big reason why it looks like they're going somewhat slow is because they have to be very careful on how they approach this particular racetrack once we end up going green double wide several rows deep, because that outside line, the grip kind of goes away. You'll notice as they come off of 2, this is a dark gray patch. If your right side tires get above that dark gray patch, the front end of the car doesn't want to turn and it will hit the outside wall. So these drivers have to kind of tiptoe their way through the exit of the corner, and that's why it kind of visibly looks like they're going somewhat slow. But you'll see the same later on tomorrow in the Cup Series qualifying as well. They're not going slow. It just visibly looks like it, but we're at a short track, so they're not supposed to go all that fast. Talk about clean racetrack, and Daniel Voiles is up ahead of that group of drivers that we were looking at. He's third on the board right now. He, for a brief moment, was actually at the top of the board. But now his 29.531 is starting to fall down the running order. One driver we got to highlight who's going to be making his Duracell Ultra Lite Series debut here tomorrow afternoon is the driver of the number 11. We've normally seen Reggie Fogelman, Cup Series driver, behind the wheel of this race car. Sarah Fogelman as well. But a Cup Series driver will be behind the wheel of this race car here tomorrow afternoon. But for the very first time, that's Bryce Egan, who drives the number 9 for Haas Racing in the Cup Series, non-chartered entry. And he's going to get a little extra track time here in the Lite Series in the machine out of Trackhouse Racing. So Bryce will at least make the Lite start here tomorrow afternoon. He'll look to pull off the doubleheader, as tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. he will also look to qualify his way into the Cup Series race. I believe we have 4 drivers slated in the on the grid right after the Cup Series race. As you saw right there, just up ahead of him, Eric Sadler got up into the wall there off of turn 2. That's something that we'll be talking about during the course of this weekend, both on the Lights and the Cup side. A lot of drivers going to have a lot of difficulty with that second corner getting up and into the fence. And Eric's coming to pit road here. Probably get some damage repaired, but he is the fastest car in Iowa right now, sitting at the top of the board at a 28.718. Let's talk about somebody else coming in with a lot of momentum, and that is last week's winner. As boy, a lot of racing going on here. I think they were getting around Roberto Crown Jr., who's coming to pit road. There is the 27 of Colin Grace, who becomes the 12th different driver to go to victory lane this season after picking up the victory last week at Hillside. Colin Grace is now jumped up into a potential playoff position, currently holding down the number 1 wild card spot. 9th in overall standings and looking to build off of that victory last week. Colin Grace also becoming the 3rd driver out of the Haas Racing stables to go to victory lane, following up Cole Coybe and Aubrey Powell. So Wes McCoy, who's actually right behind the 27th, the last driver out of that stable to find victory lane. Right now, Colin Grace, Wes McCoy, they're sitting 17th and 18th on the board. They both just ran their fastest laps of the session, but currently not anywhere in the vicinity of the top 10. Bryce Egan currently being shown 3rd fastest. Wes McCoy actually just jumped up to 4th fastest, getting a little toe off of his teammate. Kyle Langland in the 26, right now 21st on the speed charts. 4th in overall standings, had a decent run last week at Hillside. Was, I believe, the only driver inside of the top 5 that actually moved up in the point standings. Most of the top 3 stayed stationary. And Skylar Taylor just looking to stop the bleeding here this week. Taylor winning the season opener at Daytona, was for a number of weeks in the fight for the overall points lead, but the last few weeks has just continued to free fall through the point standings. Now finds himself 10th in the points. He's currently in the 2nd wild card spot. This is a driver that was looking like almost a sure thing to maybe lock himself in on points for a playoff position. But right now, 11th on the board for the driver out of ST Racing. And there's your points leader, Cam Wright Jr. Neither Cam nor Roberto Crown Jr. had really stellar runs last week at Hillside. However, Roberto Crown Jr. was able to eat into Cam's points lead. Cam now, the only 2-time winner on the season, only 2 points ahead of Roberto Crown Jr. coming into this weekend. And the bad news for Cam Wright Jr. is he is last on the speed charts right now. And at a track where track position is very, very important, does not look like he's going to have that here out of the gate. What is the slightly better news? Well, Roberto Crown Jr. is not doing much better. He is currently 28th on the board. So 1st and 2nd in points are the 2 slowest race cars in this qualifying session. They would both be starting out back, and that would make things very interesting for the start of tomorrow afternoon's race. Roberto Crown Jr. just improved, however, 29.334, moved him up 8 spots. He's now 20th on the speed charts. Cam Wright Jr. still sits in 29th. Chris Dollerton right now in the 25th position. Driver that comes into this one 12th in the standings. And if you're looking for a couple of drivers to maybe become the 13th different one to go to victory lane this season? I'll throw out a couple of names for you. Kyle Langland, Jackson Haywood, Eli Bright, Chris Dollerton. They've put together really solid, consistent seasons so far in the first 13 races, just have not found victory lane. Keep an eye on those drivers during the course of this one. As Dave Smith, we've been talking about him around the wild card position area. Well, no longer. He and Cole Koibe right now are on the outside looking in as Colin Grace, Skylar Taylor, Juan Garcia, all former winners, are outside of the top 7 with victories. So Koibe and Smith, they will be looking this week at maybe potentially a must-win situation. They're certainly going to try and garner enough points to get up there into said conversation, but they've got to get themselves up into the top 15 in points to do so. Nathan Stapleton we're looking at here in the 97. He had a great run going last time out at Hillside, was up there in the conversation the entirety of that race, finished in the top 5, and right now he's 16th on the board. Stapleton's good run last week ended up moving him up 4 spots in the standings. He's 14th in points, and keep an eye on him if you're looking at another driver that's looking to build off of some good momentum. There's Jackson Haywood in the 93, currently up in the top 7 in points, 7th in overall standing, so he would right now be in a playoff position through points, but he still try to look for a win. As right now, Daniel Voiles is the fastest in this race, and he just got into the left rear quarter panel of the 91 of Craig Batson. And as soon as he did that, he actually dropped a second on the board. Somebody else just jumped to the top of the board, and it's Roberto Crown Jr. As we hit zeros on the clock, Roberto Crown Jr. just clocked in with the fastest lap of the session, pulling off a buzzer beater. 28.348 puts him to the top of the board. And this was a driver that about, 5-6 minutes ago, he was sitting 28th on the speed charts. Improved. And second in the points will find himself, according to live point standings, when we take the green, as the new points leader, because Cam Wright Jr. is still going to start out back in the 29th position. What a pickup by Roberto Crown Jr. as session is going to come to a close, and we will take a look at the starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's race here from Iowa. Roberto Crown Jr., look at that, by almost 2/10 over Daniel Voiles, but they will share the front row. Row 2 will be David Dixon and Eric Sadler. We didn't talk about David Dixon here in this session, but keep an eye on him as he is 5th in points coming into this weekend. Cole Koibe mentioned he's trying to get back in the wild card conversation. He'll start in row 3 with Jackson Haywood. Bryce Egan making his Lite Series debut will share row 4 with Dave Smith, and Wes McCoy, Jordan Anderson going to be your top 10. Anderson, another driver we didn't really talk about, who's 3rd in overall points, 37 points back. So, depending on circumstances, if Roberto Crown Jr., Cam Wright Jr. run into some issues tomorrow afternoon, Jordan Anderson could be back in the points lead conversation as well. Take a look at some drivers where they're going to be starting that are up there in the point standings in current playoff positions. Juan Garcia in a wild card spot, currently going to start this race 14th. We talk about Skylar Taylor, now in a wild card spot. He's going to start this race in 15th. Nathan Stapleton, after his run last week, 17th is where he will start. Colin Grace, after the victory last week, 21st place for him. Look a little further on down in the qualifying results, and way down here at the bottom, there's some pretty big names down there. I mentioned about Eli Bright, Chris Dollerton. Keep an eye on them as potential winners. Well, they're going to have to come from the back to the front in order to do that. 25th, 26th, and Cam Wright Jr. going to start caboose on this train. Look at that. Look at the drivers and the lap times they put down. Craig Batson put out 29.499. Cam Wright Jr. was nearly 0.3 of a second slower. So they've really missed the mark on the setup on that Flaming Hot Cheetos Chevrolet Camaro. They got to get something figured out, especially with the fact that his teammate David Dixon qualified in the 3rd spot. So you got to bet that the 95 team, they're going to be doing a lot of talking with the 45 team. Hey, what'd you do with your setup? We got to put that in our race car. And Cam Wright Jr. is going to have a lot of work to do here tomorrow afternoon. But Roberto Crown Jr. going to pick up the pole. That's his first of the season, and he will lead us to green in tomorrow afternoon's 14th race of the season here for the Duracell Ultra Lite series. Hope you guys enjoyed this qualifying session. If you did, be sure to give me a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We showed you your starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon. Green flag for these drivers will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, before that, we'll have the Cup Series drivers have their pole day qualifying, and then the Cup drivers, they go green on Sunday at 1 p.m. But until the upcoming events here this weekend, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, Offline Racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.